Lonmro Hotels is committed to developing hotels across the continent of Africa. We've done analysis of what we have identified as the high growth nodes of the continent. So really down at city level is what we've identified as where we want to be. We have luxury hotels, Landsmore, 5-star brand, and signature hotels such as the Grand Hotel in Kinshasa. And we're also driving through a growth plan of Easy Hotels in Africa, which is a brand specifically focused on the many, not the few. It's not an elitist. It's a genuine value proposition hotel brand, and we believe that Easy will access new markets within the continent and provide a brand new hotel offer first time in the continent. So to the specific question about access, whenever we're developing new hotels, we're always looking at air access, the travel flows for business travellers, and extensively how they're following the commodity boom across the continent. And again, to be candid, we've been frustrated by the fact that the carriers in Africa have not moved as fast as demand, we would argue. So places like Lubumbashi still suffer from small aircraft, running at high loadings, can't easily access seats. The fact that the connection with Johannesburg is frequently full impacts my business in Lubumbashi. Kinshasa, the heart of Central Africa, only has 4 flights a week from Johannesburg. Again, a barrier to growth and a barrier to prosperity. So within Lonmro, I thankfully have the benefit of Fly 540. It's our budget airline. It's hubbed in Nairobi. It's hubbed in Accra. We are the domestic airline in Angola. And we're looking for that footprint to grow for 2 big reasons. One is the fact that it's a value proposition, it's a budget airline. And secondly, it's looking to connect Africa for the first time rather than dependent upon the hubs in the south or the hubs in the north. The north particularly is embarrassing, the fact that so often African travellers have to travel to Europe to do an east-west crossing.
Okay, and the basic barrier within a country, for example, I know Africa, an example, is it the government, the government agencies that are wanting to hold on to their security or their national carriers that is holding it up, or are you finding that more and more people are opening their doors to this sort of idea of opening the skies to make it a bit easier to travel within the nation, or is it the government, or is it a private business that needs to really get involved and put pressure on these governments, so forth? Which way around is it?
It's a bit of both. In West Africa, we're seeing incredible traction in the Fly 540. The governments are wanting to talk to us about us bringing the airline into Gabon, into Togo, the whole way right around to Dakar. We're getting good introductions, good traction with government, with aviation authorities. So we're seeing Fly 540 being welcomed, as it's done in the East Africa community, which is a great example of how countries have collaborated to effectively have an open skies policy that works really successfully. In South Africa, in the southern part of the continent, it's a little bit disappointing, to be candid. You have a flag-carrying, publicly owned South African Airways, and you can clearly see the fact that they're not putting capacity into maybe where we would argue the demand routes require. They have this orientation between a domestic airline, a regional airline, and an international airline. And my comment this morning, or my challenge this morning to South African Airways is maybe change your model. Maybe have a different operating model to domestically, from a regional and from an international perspective. You know, why is it you've got 737s flying hourly between Durban and Johannesburg, but then to go to Kinshasa, you only offer a flight 4 times a week? To me, that's just bizarre. You'd have thought the profitability on that route against the fact, as well as the fact that you've got the demand on that route. So I think they're being politically driven. I think they have to try and find a way to influence governments, stop making political decisions and try and put more commercial reality into their airline. But if they don't do it, Lonmro with its other aviation partners will be looking at how we can exploit the opportunities.